Hey, friend, welcome back. As always, I'm your host, Brian Davis, co-founder of Spark Rental. I'm on this journey with you to reach financial independence with a group of other investors in our co-investing club. I invest my personal money every month in passive real estate investments, and we get to vet these as a group and talk about them as a group, and it's so much fun. And as part of what we do in our co-investing club, we bring in outside experts from different backgrounds to come and speak with us. And we get to bring some of these in to our podcast as well to have quick, focused conversations with you about money and investing and real estate. So today we've brought in Sharon Hayut. She's the managing director of Magnus Financial. Sharon, welcome. And let's talk today a little bit about how to find some of the leaks in your budget using a cash diet.
Hi, Brian. Nice to meet you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Glad to have you with us.
Yeah. So the cash diet is like a unique concept we use in order to help people find where their excess spending is on a monthly or weekly diet, we kind of call it. So we take away all of your credit cards and we give you a certain dollar amount, which we come up with using some different metrics on what you spend. And we take away your Amazon account and any other areas that give you access to spend money that is not cash. And then we have you go out for the week and really get focused on where you're using your cash or your money. So, a lot of us forget that credit cards are actually money. So when we go to make a purchase and you're swiping, you're really not thinking that that's coming out of your bank account, but it is. And that's how we sort of lose track of where we're spending. So using this as sort of a reset for people. And it really helps to curb some of the excess spending. So if you have $100 in your wallet, you may or may not buy that Starbucks coffee. You may or may not go and buy that extra piece of gum or that pizza or whatever it is, because that's all you have for the week. So it's kind of a reset, which we really love when we sort of start working with families and figuring out, where their spending is and how their spending habits can be changed or modified.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that I've noticed in my own life, and every time that I've talked to someone else who's had trouble with their managing their spending, is cash is so tangible. You can look at it, you can look inside your wallet and see how much you have there. It forces you to think twice, like you said. It adds that speed bump before you just unthinkingly make a purchase. So yeah, I love that tangibility to going on an all cash diet with your budget. I love that it forces that intentionality with your spending. Because yeah, so many of us get into trouble, like you said, with having saved credit card information on websites like Amazon, on phone apps, like Grubhub, or ordering dinners instead of making it
Right.
yourself. Yeah, it's so easy to unthinkingly click without realizing how much you're actually spending. So you get to the end of the month and you're like, oh, how did I spend, X thousands of dollars when I only was supposed to spend Y thousands of dollars? So that makes perfect sense. So if someone is interested in implementing an all cash diet, what are the steps involved? Walk us through the one, two, three of this.
So the first step is really to sort of sit down and write what you're spending your money on a weekly or monthly basis. So to figure out if you want to do this for a week or for a month, and then to sort of see what your needs are. So, what's really a mandatory spend for you in terms of on the monthly basis? How much do you need for grocery shopping? How much do you need to go on vacations if you're planning a vacation? How much do you need for gas? How much is tolls? Like all of those things that are really, really necessary for on a day to day. And then to see what is not necessary that you want to still incorporate into your monthly or weekly. The other way to do it is sort of to just come up with a number of what you want to spend, or so that you can sort of become more aware of what you're spending, or sort of what we call it is like a forced saving. So I only want to spend, $500 a week because I need to save money to buy a house, or I need to save money for a new car, or I want to go on vacation, or whatever it is. So if your number is $500 a week, working backwards and saying, okay, I have $500 a week. Out of that, I need, $50 to get gas. I need $250 a week for food. And so putting that dollar amount in your wallet, taking out your credit cards, deleting all of the saved passwords on all of your apps, like your
Right.
Amazon, your Grubhub, Even your Apple, your Apple Wallet, making sure your credit card information is deleted from there because you don't want to ever be tempted to use this during this exercise. And then also, sort of keeping a journal of where you're spending your money. Because it's very easy to track it on a credit card bill, but it's not so easy to track it when you're using cash. And then looking at, what you have left or don't have left on a Friday afternoon after doing this for 5 days, will give you some insight into how you're spending money, how you'd like to spend money, and where there are areas you can cut back on.
Yeah, so when I look at budgeting, I like to start with my target savings rate first and get that completely out of my ability to spend it. Whether that's having an employer split the direct deposit, so some of it goes into a savings account instead of your checking account, whether it's setting up automated transfers, from your checking to your savings account every payday, or having your robo-advisor account, just pull it out of your checking account, every week or every other week when you get paid. Yeah, to me, that is so important. Just starting with the savings as your most important
Yeah, you're paying
expense.
yourself first, right? Which I think is
Exactly.
really the best
Exactly.
way to sort of start. So pay yourself first before you pay the piper kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um, but
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
that's super important when you're doing all of this. So yeah, but for the cash diet, you're really just looking at where the leaks are, where your excess spending is and how you can come up with a strategy to curb it. So you need to identify it, and whether it's, I can walk into a CVS with my 4-year-old daughter and buy her, a little stuffed animal that really isn't necessary. Like that's an area that I need to learn how to cut back on and say no. There are
Right.
different ways that people spend money that are unnecessary, and this really just helps identify those.
Yeah, and to your point about having a journal with this, that's the kind of thing that you'll catch when you're paying with cash and writing that down,
Mhm.
as opposed to if you're looking at your credit card statement or your online account at the end of the month. CVS will just show up as, healthcare or pharmacy or whatever. It will not know exactly what you spent the money on. So even if you're buying a toy for your child, it's going to show as a more mandatory expense with your healthcare spending. So yeah, I love the idea of keeping a little, pocket size spending journal in your wallet or in your pocket. That
Yeah,
will absolutely make this more intentional for you and help you find those leaks.
yeah, no, that definitely is why we say the journal. And it's, you can also use your notes in your iPhone or any way that makes you comfortable. Some people use, audio messages or whatever. They text themselves a list, whatever's easiest. But yeah, keeping a journal, being intentional with your spending, all helps to figure out where your excess spending is.
I love it. Well, Sharon, in 30 seconds or less, how do you help people and how can people connect with you if they want to take you up on that help?
Great. I am a financial advisor in New York City. I help people with their finances get in order. I sort of serve as a personal CFO. You can reach me by going to magnusfinancial.com and hit the contact us now button.
Awesome. Well, Sharon, thank you so much for joining us. And guys, if you enjoy these quick hit conversations that we have, please rate, review the show. It makes a world of difference to us. And on that note, we will catch you on the flip side. Wondering how private equity real estate investing works? We get it. A lot of investors are put off by phrases like private equity or real estate syndication, but these completely passive investments are actually a lot easier than buying properties directly, buying properties yourself in your own name. So we offer a free 40-minute class called Hack the Rich, 7 Secrets We've Learned from Private Equity Real Estate. There's not even a sales pitch at the end. We'll show you how to invest in these on your own without any help from us. So go to sparkrental.com/hack to take the free class. And we can't wait to chat about your questions.